Coach Teresa Ford here, and this is the Guiding You Home podcast. This is a thought-provoking and often humorous approach to moving you closer to the only one who can genuinely help you live a life of abundance and prosperity. Sound good? Yeah, it's you that needs to go within so you can sit in the driver's seat of your life, co-creating with God. So make room for more light and knowledge. As you continue to listen, you will discover elements of how to lead with your inner light, how to act on your specific promptings, and how to follow your spiritual intuition so you can fulfill the measure of your creation. Thanks for being here, and let's dive in. Welcome. We're back. And guess what? I have a very special guest in the hot seat. And her name is Malaika. Help me with your last name. It's
Bagoudou.
That's
yes.
What it looks like. It looks like Bagoudou.
Yes, ma'am.
And we have a lot in common because we've both been on health and wellness journeys, and we care a lot about the female hormones and what we put into our bodies. Yeah. So without further ado, Malaika, please give us your introduction of yourself and what you're here to do.
Thank you so much for having me. Well, my name is Malaika Bagoudou, and I am a holistic nutrition health coach. I'm also a wellness chef and a menopause coaching specialist. My passion is to help women live their best life one day at a time.
Oh, I love that. The thing that makes me most curious about you is your childhood. What has brought you to this point in your life that childhood had such an influence on you?
Yes, it does. And I think growing up, in Togo, I'm from West Africa, Togo, a little tiny country next to Ghana. A lot of people, when you say Togo, say, what is that? Togo is a French-speaking country. Growing up in Togo was really hard because my parents really didn't have everything that it took actually to be. We are not considered as a wealthy family. We are not even middle class. But I just knew in my heart that there's something more. There's something more that every time I go to school, I come back home, even though it's do my homework or do interest with my mom, I just feel like something in me that one day I don't want to feel the way I am in, the situation I'm in, living with my parents, not able to do A, Y, and Z, or see my other friends have whatever they want to have. But I knew also that I want to help other people because I see myself, not just me living in that condition, but other younger as my age also. But coming to the state was like a dream come to pass. We got to the state, my husband and I, he quickly joined the military, and we just started this life of military, being to places. We went overseas a lot. We spent like 11 years in overseas, from Korea, Germany, Italy. I just came back from Italy actually a couple months ago. Compared to my bringing up to where I am now with my children, I have two children, two beautiful kids, a son and a girl. They are so blessed that they are here in the state and born here, and I'm seeing their upbringing with my upbringing. Not like, I love my parents, I love everything they have done for me, but if they have more, they could, have done also a lot. But I thank God for the training, not having enough now allow me to see, oh, okay, this is what it takes to have this. So let me cherish it, let me give to people, let me help other people to get where they need to be. And that's why I'm calling to help other women in their way of wellness.
I love that because, it takes one woman at a time to help one woman at a time,
Yes, ma'am. It does.
I love that. Well, tell me about your health journey. Like, how did that begin? How did you know you needed help, and what did you do?
Yeah. So as background hairdresser, I went to school because, as I'm saying again, living in Togo, anything I want to do, I wasn't that person where, okay, this is the book. Let me learn, go. No, I was more about, let me do something with my hand. And I remember back in the school, they would ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? I always say, I want to be a nurse for some reason. But I think now that I'm thinking about it, it's because of that self-giving. Like, I want to serve other people. Yeah, and I always say I want to be a nurse. So when we come out to this, they make the show short. I remember one of my godmother, she just like, I think anything that you feel good or happy you want to do is when you're helping somebody do something, either with your hand or doing hair. And I said, let me go there and learn what is hair. Then I went to school for cosmetology, and that was back 2008, and graduated from there. And from there, we just started our life with military. So everywhere we go, I will open the shop or I work from home, just doing that. But 2017, that's when the havoc happened. I
Ah,
think 2017, and that was besides I was in Kentucky. Before 2017, 2015, I opened the shop for the very first time that I work for myself, being outside. Normally, I work. My first one actually was Paul Mitchell Salon, where I worked there for 2 years before we went to Germany. Now, 2007, 2015, when I opened the shop, I work a lot. Sometimes I go to work at like 7 a.m. in the morning. I'm come back like midnight. And literally, I would be so tired that I'm eating
the
the
life
food.
of an entrepreneur.
Yes,
Oh my gosh.
I'm just working long hours. And this is actually doing hair behind the chair for long hours. And I would
Yeah,
come home,
you're
my
on your feet
husband,
all day.
yeah, my husband make the meal, and I'll be eating literally. I would have the food in my hand, and I would just gone. I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
And sometimes he'll be so gracious enough, come here, put the food on my mind, but honey, either way you finish this food or you go to bed. And someday just like, I'm just gonna let her have it. And then I wake up and be like, oh my Lord, what happened? But anyway, from all of that, I was so exhausted. And I think my mindset just, I need to get this. I'm new. I open a new business. All of this, extra anxiety that coming from, okay, I need to make it. I need to pay my rent. So we got stationed. My husband said, okay, we leave Kentucky. Let's go to South Korea. Which now, when we get to South Korea, no work, no job, nobody knows me. This is me having two phones. I have one for family and one for business. 1 month, I'm already booked. You have to catch him the next month. Now, I'm just home. Everybody my kids going to school, my husband going to work, and I'm just in the house, just like, where's going? Who am I? And then there's a voice like ringing my, who am I? I said, what am I doing? I feel like this is the most depressing, that I've never been in my entire life. I was 37
Oh,
years old.
yeah. I want to make a point here because you're drawing such a strong conclusion here. Yours and my stories are identical.
Wow.
Because I was running a fitness business. I was getting up at 3 a.m., going to bed at 7 p.m. I had no family life, no social life, nothing. I was just working in the zone. And we are taught to work hard and earn our keep, right? But when that happens and we don't listen to the body's like, please get some sleep. Please feed me. Please be nice. Please take your time. Please rest. And our bodies are just kind of flapping in the wind behind us as our brains are like, we've got to keep going. We have to pay our rent. We have to we have to keep going with what we started. And I think that's the point that we have to scale it back for any of the women that are listening to your powerful story. I feel like the point that you're making is you must listen. You don't actually have to finish what you started. You can always take
breaks,
a different path.
A different path.
Breaks during the day or a different path. Like you can rewrite your schedule. You can make it what you need it to be, especially as an entrepreneur. You are in charge. But sometimes we're so strong-willed that will actually kill us. Like, it takes our health away from us, which if you don't have your health, you really don't have anything.
You don't have anything.
Right? And so, and to your next point, like I was like, she's making so many good points. I got to stop. You were like, if I'm just at home and the kids go to school and the husband is going to work, who am I? Because you take all those hats off. I was a daughter. I was a sister. I was a wife. I was a mother. I was a business owner. And then all of a sudden you're like, but what makes me me? Yeah. Okay. So I want to pick up your story from there because I know there's a lot of women that's like, it feels like depression. It feels like you are so lost and then you like that repression, you lose your voice, you lose your purpose, you lose, and your health is going in this direction because you haven't gotten hold of it yet. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So take us from there.
Exactly. So I was just like, who is this lady? And I think, for some people that are listening, military life, your life is unpredictable. You don't know where you're going to be next. And whatever you get, like for me, you have to start over. If you don't have like a government job, if you're just like a sole entrepreneur, so whatever you get, you start from there, you leave your client, you get to the next level, you have to start over. So I was just like, okay, how am I going to start here? and what I'm going to do. What is my life? But then I think because my body now have time actually to show up whatever was going inside, I started with digestion issues. I mean, when you see me, I look like 8 months pregnant. And the thing that really frustrated me is when people come to me and be like, "Oh, when the baby is due?" Oh my God! No, no, baby,
No.
I am sick.
This is called tired and exhaustion, and
That's
it looks
what
like a
this
baby.
is. I couldn't hold on to anything. Anything I eat just like give me trouble. I would blow it like, and my skin was actually breaking up. I went to the hospital multiple times. I mean, I've been to hospital for 37 years of my life. Like, none, like, it was crazy. The doctor couldn't figure out what is wrong with me. But one day, it's always one day for all of us. Right? One day, I was actually watching exercise, and that's a lady on TV. Just kind of, I said, okay, I have a morphine top, but now it's not morphine anymore. Now it's kind of getting big. And they do all the tests. And she's just like, hey, you know what? I just get my certification for iron. I said, iron? What's iron? The law was me, go in and study, find out what is iron. And iron stands for integrated nutrition, school. And I found out that actually it's a school that they can teach you what is food, about nutrition quickly. I was so excited because in my natural way, I love food. I love to cook. People, even that time I wasn't a chef yet, but I love to cook all the time. But then what you cook and how you eat and how you combine the food. And I think those was my issue because living in an environment, that's one to do with military family. Every time we leave one environment to another environment, our gut, our everything changed. The gut changed.
Yes.
Our flora changed. So because we on Asia. And then I'm eating a whole lot of seaweed, a whole lot of what, which is good for the body. But my body also let me know that no, you can't dodge on this one. And I'm already tired. So I have a lot of chronic fatigue going on. My hormone in a havoc. Couple months before I took myself out of birth control and everything just like, okay, I am here. Let me show you who I am.
Yes.
So going to that rapidly, I went to school. I think like 2 weeks in school, I'm started learning about digestion. I'm started learning about the skin and how everything is connected. Then I went back to my doctor and I said, you know what? I want you to text me for my hormone. She said, oh, I don't think so. I don't think it's your hormone. I said, just do it. And lo and behold, she went and did the test and found out I have hypothyroidism. And then
hypothyroidism.
Yes, hypothyroidism.
I've had it. Like
Wow.
Your story and my story identical. Like even before I became an entrepreneur and I was working at a gym, like all of a sudden one day I started bloating. I couldn't digest wheat, soy, whey, protein of any kind. And I became allergic to, I had sensitivities to like broccoli, avocado, tomatoes. And any doctor I went to was like, well, you're going to have to find somebody smarter than me because they didn't want to invest time into figuring it out.
Exactly.
But I figured it out using my own personal intuition, listening to my body, eating one food at a time and checking. How did that feel?
Yes.
Did I bloat? Do I feel sick? Is there pain in my stomach, in my gut?
Yes.
Right. And just testing it out for myself. Because there are blanket diagnoses out there in the world that says you have this issue and we're going to call it that and we're going to give you medication for it. And I am a big proponent, as you are, for having natural healing modalities.
Yes.
Figuring out how to work with your body, not against it, because the only reason we got here was working against our bodies.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
And the body is designed actually to heal itself. If we give the body what the body needed, 99%. The body
surprise! Like our body's actually designed to heal itself.
We are all witness to that, and I can tell because I did take the medication because so when they went back and did the test, actually my own everything was inflamed. Very critical. She's like, you are right here on the last stage, and I think the only thing we can do is to destroy your natural, hormone, and then we give you put you medicine. And I don't like anything that we said that you're gonna use it for your entire life. My brain just like, cling, cling, where is going? I said, thank you. I appreciate your expertise.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take this out of my hand. And I went home. I prayed. The Lord, I hear the Holy Spirit say, go in and fast. And I fasted for 2 weeks. No food, just water. When I did the period of fasting, I think that gave my body a break. From trying to digest, from trying to do whatever. And then I went back and I said, I want you to test me again. And that's when the her moment came in. She just, I don't believe this. Because the blood saying that I don't have hyperthyroidism. She could believe it. She said, okay, I want you to go back and do the CAT scan because I want to see your neck, because we know it was all inflamed before. And nothing happened. When I bring back, when she brought back the results, she called me and she said, I can't believe this and I can't explain it. I said, you know what? There's another healer, bigger than you and I. But just what, when we can listen to the inside and do what needs to be done, guess what? The body will heal, because the body is already designed to heal itself. And that's when I get up from the doctor hospital. And I finished my school. I could wait. I mean, I was so eager to learn more about everything that is going for me, as I was like a guinea pig trying to learn it. And I finished my training, and it was just right there. I started with, even 6 months of my training, I started helping other people. And I have a lot of story about same thing. It feels like whatever you're going through, you feel like you meet other people. That
100%. Yes.
You feel I go through it all, and I just like, wow. But the ripple effect, and from there, doing it, learning more about hormone and learning more about menopause, because they all going together. I even realized that because when it happened to me, actually, I went to perimenopause very quickly because my cycle stopped. I went to you name it, all the perimenopause symptoms. Then, thank God, I was able to reverse my body back, and the cycle came back and normal. But how we know how many ladies probably just like hyperthyroidism, and then they have to go diagnose them as, oh, you are menopause, so take this. Or no, we have to, or maybe they're dealing with heavy bleeding, or it's a fibro, and then, oh, let's remove your ovary, and then automatically they are on menopause. So a lot of us, like you said, misdiagnosis because we don't know, we don't want to listen to our body, but we got to learn the body. If we're going to live in this body and we want the body to serve us, we have to learn the body. And that's why I did learn my body, have to nourish my body, have to give my body break. When it's time to pause, we pause.
I love that, because even before I was in fitness, I took an honest look at myself in the mirror. I was like, why do I feel wired and tired? How come I don't feel energized and alive, which is who I knew myself to be? But I looked I was like, I lifted my shirt this way. I lifted my shirt that way. I was like, what happened? And when I did that intuitively, I was like, I don't want to go on another diet. I don't want to stand on the scale and count some calories and then beat myself up for being up 3 pounds after starving for 3 days. Like, what is that? Right? And so I was like, if I can get uncomfortable one meal at a time, because at the time I was sort of a garbage disposal. I was like, if I didn't want my kids' food to go to waste, so I would eat what they didn't eat. And I was just consuming everything that was on the counter, basically. And I wasn't paying attention. Right. And so I was just eating whatever. And then I figured if I could get uncomfortable with myself one meal at a time, I could get comfortable with myself one meal at a time.
Yes.
And it was right about that same time that I had gone into the doctor. I was like, what's wrong with my body? What's happening? How do I fix it? And he ran some tests and he's like, oh, you have hypothyroidism. And he gave me a medication. And I took it home and I started the dosage. And as I was doing that day after day, I was like, oh, this is how people never get off medication. This is how it starts. And then you need a medication to, ward off the side effects of the medication.
Yes.
It also made my heart hurt. Like my heart was like in pain. And I was like, that is my body saying, no, thank you. I do not want this. This is not the fix for your body. So I stopped taking it and I started exercising. Whoa, it's free, everybody.
Yes.
And I also started making the food that I put into my mouth matter to my body. It had to have a purpose. My body had to be able to utilize it. It recognizes fruits. It recognizes vegetables. It recognizes some grains that are like well grown, and it recognizes proteins, right? So my body's like, oh, protein? We'll disperse that. We'll help your muscle. We'll increase your energy, your immune system. This is going to be great. You put in some vegetables and it's like, woo, we know what that is. We know how to use it. We're going to put it to good work and good use. and then suddenly, just through moving my body, I wasn't going to a gym, I wasn't following a program, I was just intuitively moving
Yes.
my body. It's like,
Yes.
today feels like a good day to go sprint, today feels like a good day to go walk, today feels like a good day to do sit-ups, whatever.
Yeah.
I was just doing whatever. I
Yeah.
had 5 kids at home, homeschooling all of them, so they were all around me all the time, and I
Yeah.
had to make it work for me. So in 6 months, I had lost 8 dress sizes, because that was my body going, thank you.
Now, yes.
Thank you
Or
for
take all the extra
listening.
out. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And that is like you're talking about the intuitive, but you also mentioned that you went home and prayed to God.
Yeah.
You're like, help me, help me.
Yes.
What would you have me do to take care of this vessel you have
Yes.
given me
Yes.
for my spirit to thrive in?
Yes.
Tell me
Yes.
more about that
Yeah.
journey for you.
It's very important. And I think around the journey, what I realize is that, we think that we can do everything or anything without Him. There's no way. I mean, very quickly, we all realize when we sick, a lot of people, even though if you believe or you don't believe, at one point on your sickness or your sickness bed, you think about something, the inner self inside of you. Because I said, Lord, okay, what is it? Now, I can't eat. And when I'm just here, and I know I'm a foodie, I'm a foodie person. I like to eat. Now I can eat those things that I normally eat, that I feel good before. Now they are like a stranger into my system. And from that prayer time, I hear you need to go and study food, because food does something to your body. And if this is the temple, which is, we call to nourish and living a good life, how can I live a good life when I'm putting junk into my system?
Thank you. 100%.
Because the body cannot serve you if you don't serve the body first. But when we do what needs to be done to the body doesn't need any. He will just keep continuing because it's already been programmed to self healing.
Yeah.
And my journey of faith is very critical, because one thing too that happened to me on the journey is that they gave me, when I was going through issues, because I also going through issue with, and everything, when you started, one thing just started, it's like everything that just coming on you.
Yeah.
It may be headache, and then you go from diarrhea, then you go, everything just spread across. My cycle also was acting up, and not just only that, I found out that I have fibroid, which also making my periods very heavily. So the doctor said, what about we just put you on birth control? Then when I went to birth control, everything just like double. the symptom of everything just double. Then I said, okay, Lord, we need to talk, because if I can trust the doctor and say, hey, take this pill, it's supposed to reduce my flow or help me feel better. I said, why can I trust your word? To know that when you say, I heal you, you're going to be healed. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to work. I have to do something, because faith without work is dead. So I can't say, okay, Lord, thank you for healing me, and then go back to my junk. I have a duty to do. I have a responsibility, which is learning my food, what food can help me, sustain me, give me energy. Because there's some food that actually you eat and you can bleed more. There are food that are not created equal. Yeah. So my faith my journey, my faith allowed me on that journey also to discover not only my spiritual, life inside, but also the physical thing that I am facing every day. But through it all, if it wasn't for that faith, maybe I think probably I would be stuck somewhere else, because I'm only seeing the physical, right? What I can see now, but the invisible is more.
It is.
So it's more. So in my mind, I said, can I get healed? Oh, yes, you can get healed. But it's not tangible. But I have to believe first. And not just believe, not stop there. I have to do the work. Yes. And I think just doing that, going for one mile at a time, one day at a time, it brings me to where I am today. And I can say that God has been so good to me, that I'm not only flourishing in my physical body, mentally, physically, spiritually, I am in.
Yeah, and I can tell your countenance is very bright.
It got to go together. Your spirit, your mind, your everything is three. We are 3 parts: spirit, body, and soul. So how we want to nourish the body, and then we're going to forsake the spirit? It won't work. That's why you see a lot of people, they go to the gym, they eat well, but then when you look their life, or when they tell what they're going to be like, something is not. You forgot the third part. which is actually the invisible part, which is the biggest part one, because actually things started in the spiritual first and then show up in the physical realm. But if you are not sensed to the spirit inside of you to leading you to the direction you need to go. It doesn't matter how much care you eat. It doesn't matter how much exercise. It's always going to be something missing. And you will see people will lean to drug, they will lean to alcohol, they will lean to pornography, they will lean to other things because they are looking just for one thing to make their life come together. So for me on my journey, all those three come like, they're all connected.
Yeah. So powerful. That is such a good point to make, Malaika, because I agree 100% with everything you've said, because the unseen, when I say my intuition led me to X, Y, or Z,
Yeah.
I'm saying that I had a spiritual practice
Yes.
of calling in my Heavenly Father to
Yes.
act in my life, to guide me so I could hear him
Yes.
point me in the right directions. And
Yes.
I feel like what you're saying, to your point, like I was in the fitness industry for 16 years, and women came to the studio to work out with me, but it's because the carrot, the thing you're dangling in front of them is like, I need you to fix my body because my body is the problem. And it's actually, no, your body has gotten you from point A to point B your entire lives. But the point is that you have a spirit that lives in your body.
Yeah.
And if you're not listening, you're looking everywhere except for here and there, right? You need this spiritual connection to maximize your intuitive gifts, which everybody has. Is not just for one person. And when you maximize that, you're playing with your body. You have partnered with your body to create a well-oiled machine, if you will.
Yes.
And your energy goes up, your mindset goes up, everything about you levels up because you're being guided to do things you would never think of on your own on a bad diet.
Exactly.
Like nobody has ever sat on the couch hoping to feel better, grabbing more downtime at 10 o'clock at night, eating cookie cake ice cream, who wakes up in the morning and goes, what a great idea that was.
No.
Nobody ever says that because they're waking up going, oh, I feel tired.
Sluggish.
I feel overwhelmed. I slept in. I didn't want to get up. Like they're not considering the fact that they're leaving out the most important part, which is drawing on the powers of heaven.
Yes.
And allowing that to be their guide, because the powers of heaven, even if you're tired, even if your brain can't make a really good decision at 10 o'clock at night, is still asking you to listen.
Yes.
Your body actually starts yawning at 4 p.m.
Yes.
And then at 7, it's actually ready to go to bed. Because when the sun goes down, our body's designed to go down, like the pioneers, right?
Exactly.
And the light bulb ruined it.
Yes.
It's like, oh, we'll flip on the light, we'll stay up forever.
Yes.
So, but we're designed to go down when the sun goes down. Right. And so when we don't, cortisol, all of the stress hormones, the chemical soup that keeps us in fight or flight, raises in our body. And then we get into what we call a second wind after 7. And then our body's like, well, if you're going to keep going and not listen, we're going to have to be sustained on something. And sugar is the fastest thing you can find to sustain overwhelm, which is staying up later than your body has asked you to stay up, right? Because you're in need of downtime. Why? Because you've overscheduled your day. Why? Because you're not paying attention. Why? Because you don't have a spiritual practice.
Like,
I mean, it just goes and goes and goes.
Yeah, it keeps going. Yeah. And that is so true. You know, like I even experienced, like, I don't know if people have time. Maybe a lot of people do this. Like when you stay up to 10, your body just automatically, says, oh, okay, it's a new day. And you started, like, your body won't able to go to bed anymore. It's like another energy but that energy is not sustainable. It's because the way the body kind of program to go to bed is dark, you go to sleep. Because healing started in the nighttime. That's when we get the healing.
Starts at nighttime. Thank you. Mic drop. Did everybody hear that?
And I would say, even when we think spiritually, when you lay down our laying down means we surrender. Actually, because
Yeah.
nobody lay down and have their hand hold on to something. I mean, you lay down, you
I
surrender.
love it. You're surrendering. I love that
And
idea.
when you surrender, what happens? Then the work can be done. The spiritual things that you cannot
The
see,
work
God
can
can
be
work
done.
now.
You're just dropping these in right and left. Okay, keep going. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Okay, the work can be done. You've
Yes, you
surrendered. The healing
surrender.
happens. Oh my
Healing happens.
gosh.
Yes. And when you get up in the morning, what we feel? Feel so energized. We just so happy. You know, have you seen people, they get up in the morning, probably they went to bed, maybe 10, they have steak before they went to bed. So the steak take about what, 14 to 16 hours to digest. It depends even how they cook it. Then you wake up in the morning, irritated. Just wake up in the morning, good morning, huh? What? This is just a morning. But it's not even good already for you. You just wake up. But because the body said, I'm not ready yet. I'm still
Yeah.
digesting things that you gave me last night. And then we're going to, like you talk about the cortisol. Keep going. Keep going, because we never have time for that cortisol to come down.
Yeah.
So our body can feel relaxed. And every day we wake up, we got free radicals that we deal with. But when are we having time to rest? If it wasn't
Yes.
needed, he's not going to command it. As he's a command, he said rest. We have to rest.
Yes. And also, I want to get your thoughts on intuitive eating also, because I am not a breakfast, lunch, and dinner eater. I am a what sounds good, and
Yes.
food doesn't really have sound. So who are you asking?
Yeah.
You're asking your soul, like, what sounds good? Your body's like, let me think.
That's
Right?
right.
What is your take
Yeah.
on that?
It's I believe truly that we should, you know how it's not typical eat 3 times, 3 breakfasts, because my husband actually, we went to a journey where let's try one break, one meal a day, and actually works. I was first of all, he started already in our journey. I was so amazed how one meal a day actually sustain you. He said,
Yeah.
honey, you know what? I don't think science really, everything people say you have to eat 3 times a day. That's not true. And that's also another doctor. I forgot the name of the guy. He actually have a book about it, how you can actually sustain yourself. Dr. Price, I think that's the way it is. He talking about a lot about how you can eat one meal a day and be okay. Back in the day, when our great parents, they don't have a plenty meal like we have now. They probably go and hunt or take something. Again, came home. Maybe that's the whole village, and it would take a couple hours, sometime a day before they eat again. But now I told people, I said, listen to yourself. If your soul, what your soul want, and first of all, sometimes it's not just actual food first. If we go into the circle of life, we want to nourish what we don't see, which is, it can be our relationship. Maybe you're hungry, it's not because you really want physical food. It may be what we call your invisible food, which can be your relationship you want to nourish. Maybe somebody upset you, maybe your maid or your kid. You can get that fixed first. Then you come to eat.
Awesome.
Because
That's
when
awesome.
when we are angry, science also prove it. We tend to eat quickly, which digestion is not really taking place. And some people, like, I remember my grandmother back home when I was growing up. When you're angry, she would pause you. He said, go to the corner over there and sit down, calm down before you eat. And growing up, I didn't really quite understand why she's actually tell us to do that. But now I do,
Very wise.
because digestion won't take place when we're angry. Your body trying, your cortisol are already high. How can you go to digest food when you're on that mode? So intuition, it is very, I told everybody, take time. Looking around, ask yourself question, what I'm eating right now is going to nourish me, or is going to put my body into the havoc? I think when we start doing that, it gives us, and also the help of the Holy Spirit, Lord leads me. That's what we pray when we want to eat food, right? We pray. But some of us, we got junk and we pray over the junk food. Praying that the Lord bless the junk food. The Lord bless the junk food, but come on.
He's good, but
But the question is, do you think I'm going to allow you to eat the junk food and bless us? No. The Lord doesn't work that way.
there are consequences.
We need to pick good food, you're right? Good food that are good for our body. And then pray, do our grace, and believe in God that when we eat this food, we're going to be nourished, because He wants this temple to feel good. So it's very important that we ask some few questions before we even bite. And my motto is that find your plate. When you find your plate, eat to live, not live to eat, but eat to live. Why? Because every bite counts.
Yes, it
We're doing
does.
this, it counts.
Yes. And, when we go to a restaurant, they serve you probably 3 times
Mm-hmm.
more than beyond just being full.
Yeah.
So I always say, listen to your body, because after 3 bites, you are no longer hungry.
Mm-hmm.
But we're so used to eating till we're full,
Yeah.
and then eating till we're stuffed,
Yes.
and then finishing the plate beyond that.
Yes.
Because, back in 1970s, it was taught to us that you have to eat certain food groups and how much of them you need to eat. And then you
Yeah.
have to have 3 square meals a day. And then
Yeah.
you need to clean your plate because there
Yeah.
might not be food tomorrow, because we were
Mm-hmm.
just, a decade out of the Great Depression,
Yes.
and it took away the intuitive skills that we're
Yes.
born with.
Yes.
Because babies can't overeat. They will not take another bite if they're
Mm-mm.
full.
Mm-mm.
And so we're like, you only had 2 bites. You
That's
need to
how
finish
we
the
know.
jar.
I said, food. Yeah. No, don't.
They're like, no, not doing it.
Yes.
So I feel
like that.
like if we return to our natural state of intuitive knowing,
Yes.
which is a very female energy state to be in, is to
Yes.
be in our knowingness,
Yes.
then we will think about what does sound good.
Yes.
And nothing says you have to have 3 things on your plate. You can
No.
have one thing. Like if spinach is calling your name, you might be low in iron, and your body's trying to rebalance
Yes.
that in your body.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes my methodology when I'm coaching clients is eat or cook once, eat 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
So you make a meal in the morning, and then you eat, your 5
More
bites,
portion. Yes.
and then go, next time your stomach is giving you the signal, because
Yes.
ghrelin is a hormone and
Yes.
it's in your stomach. It sounds
Yes.
like growling. So when your stomach growls,
Yes.
your body's like, hey, we digested it. We're ready.
Yes.
You can go ahead and feed us some more. And so you have
Yeah.
another 5 bites, and then
Yeah.
you wait 2-3 hours. Your body's
Yes.
going to signal you again, and then you
Exactly.
eat. And you can eat all day. It's one meal.
Yes.
And you've never been hungry. You've never deprived yourself. Because
Yes.
I think that's the thing, is women are like, ooh, intermittent fasting and
Mm.
going on a diet, restricting calories. Because if it was really about the calorie model, we'd be able to eat 1,200 calories of donuts
Yeah.
and look sharp.
And look up.
Yeah.
That's
And it's not going to happen.
It's
We
not
look
gonna
fluffy if we eat
Yeah.
fluffy, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yes.
really important that we're doing that intuitive eating, going back to what we did as babies. And we might just need, one food
Yeah.
or just 5 bites,
Yeah.
just to get us through the day. And it
Yeah.
sustains our energy. It doesn't deplete us. We're
Yes.
listening. We're intuitive. Our
Yes.
body's telling us, communicating all day. I'm
Yeah.
hungry. I'm not hungry. I'm hungry. I'm not
Yeah.
hungry. And what it's saying is, I need you to replenish the blood sugar.
That's right.
Right? But
Yeah.
normally we are eating so much. We're over
Mm-hmm.
eating. Our
Mm-hmm.
blood sugar is over the top, and now our
Yeah.
body's like in an emergency crisis, trying to
Yeah.
save us from an overage of sugar. So then
Yeah.
it stores it as fat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, and doing that day after day, year after year, like
Yeah.
it's not in a day that happens,
Mm-mm.
right? So I always say it's not the amount of birthday cake you're eating
No.
in a year's time. It's the daily habits
daily,
that
yeah.
are
And
taking
they
away.
added exactly. And for everybody, I would say, you know what? That's why it's very important that everybody found their plate, because what is your food? When people come to me for coaching and, I saw so and so doing this diet, and I said, okay, but I'm not here to teach you this diet. I'm here actually to help you how to find your plate. Because once you find your food, this is what your body, your soul want you to nourish. And that comes with different things. It's not just the physical food, like I was saying before, but other things also that come to your plate. Those that you don't see, like your relationship, your work environment, your home, your career, your finance. If you don't have money to do things that you want to do, just what you are lacking. You're hungry financially. And then a lot of time we want to take that, we want to eat composite from the plate, because we don't want to sit down and think about how we're going to make our financial issues get better. But because things are not going here well, so people will turn to eat to compensate for whatever hurts or whatever feeling, emotion they are going through. So
Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. Did everybody hear that? Like, not eating well
Mhm.
and creating probably a problem in your gut biome
Yeah.
is not helping your financial world.
It's not.
Like abundance is all connected,
Yeah.
starting with the spirit, the body, and then your outside world, which is financial,
Yes.
career development, and
Yes.
everything else.
Yes. Relationship. Yeah. A lot of people, why people, over the sun, maybe they broke up with a girlfriend or boyfriend, then the next thing is they have a bowl, a big bowl, they just want to eat, or I just want to eat, because food is what, on the side, people, we say that food touches your soul. It's true. I believe it's true. Food touches your soul, because your soul is what? Your will, your emotion, and your feelings. So when we do eat, that's why we can say, oh man, this feels so good. Oh, I love it. But guess what? When we also our emotion are not balanced, what we tend to do, eat food, because we want to compensate from that.
Yeah.
Oh, I just argue with my husband. Okay, let me go and just make myself happy. Let me go and eat some double burger and feel good about myself. No, actually, you are hurting the body.
Yes.
When your emotion are not balanced, it's not time to eat. It's time to sit down, take a paper and a pen, and say, where is it? Where is it going? What is my portion here? What was the one thing that I did to put myself in this, situation? And because sometimes we tend to look the other person, but what about we do some intro perspective?
Yeah.
What is my portion? And I think by doing that, it also going back to that intuition, eating that we talk about. It kind of lead you to, okay, things that are invisible that I cannot control, I can pray about them. If you find that you're using food as mechanism of coping, then you need to pray that God help me, that I use food as to nourish my body, not to indulge on it, so I can be balanced.
Yes, I love that. There's a quote out there somewhere that says, don't give up what you want most for what you want today. When today you're having an emotion, you're feeling something which started as a thought. So I talk about this a lot on my podcast. It was a thought, it triggered your nervous system. You suddenly felt unsafe or insecure.
Yeah.
And that's the emotion that you're trying to soothe and comfort with food.
Yeah.
But it feels good. A big bowl of spaghetti in 1 minute feels good in that while it's on your tongue. Everything after that feels terrible.
Yeah.
Right? Because we know that wasn't good for us. We know that it's going to, make a problem worse that's already happening. Right? And so to reverse that, like you said, is like write it down. What is the one thing that I'm doing before I eat the donut, the bowl of spaghetti, whatever? What is it that I'm doing that causes me to feel the way I'm feeling? And then I respond with something that comforts me.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And doing that, that's what we're going to create that balance. Because the balance, we pray is good to pray, but God is not going to do the work for you.
That's right.
we got to do the work, and I think that's that entry perspective. People are afraid. Maybe they're afraid to see what actually normally they are supposed to be, because they can't now. They can't reach that yet. Sometimes some people feel afraid, because people will come to me and I say, but if you sit down, you think about it, you can find solution. I don't need to give you the solution, but I'm here to lead you to the path that can open up the solution for you. But a lot of people don't want to go to that inner place where just open it up to say, you know what? Yes, I think I do this here and I can change this. I can change this habit. And people don't like change. But change is good.
Thank you. They're like, I would like my body to feel different, but I didn't really sign up to change. So it's like, well, now we have a problem, right? Because and the change that they fear the most actually isn't that painful if they get down to the one thing they can change, the one thing that they are ready, and God will give that to you. You ask, what is the one thing I could do today to bring myself into a place of peace and comfort so that I can nourish my body instead of use it to comfort myself.
Yes, exactly. And one day at a time. Like that's why I'm focusing on taking one woman one day at a time, because we do know that we have a lot. When you go into the journey of our womanhood, we have a lot that we worried about. But if we can just take one thing, like you said, take that today, tackle that and move on. A lot of our worry doesn't even they don't come from today, like today. We thinking ahead, 5 years ahead, 1 year, but can we just focus around on the moment enjoy the moment. And I think that's why in the Word of God teaches us about daily bread. He didn't say, oh, your 10,000 bread. He said daily bread. And that daily bread is actually everything that we do. Like back in when you read in Israel, their life, when they were in the wilderness, the manna was coming, but it was daily. He said, go out, get for what you need for the day, for today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the same way also with our health. We got to tackle those issues one day at a time.
Yeah.
We got to find something that nourishes us. Just focus on that. If it's water that you need to be consistent with your water intake, focus on that for a while. Add something else. And I think after a while, habits will create habit. You're going to accumulate a whole lot of habits, and that create your lifestyle. But sometimes some of us, we just want to grab it on, and then we feel like, oh, I can do this. And even for coaching, when people come for me for coaching, I say, okay, let's take one thing. Let's watch your behavior, with that thing and see how you perform. Then we add something else. And I think that's why I feel people will come and say, oh, I went to this program. It didn't work for me because did this. And I said, because you can't, we are not made to tackle too much at one time.
Thank you.
One time, one at a time, it helps you also the body to ease. And also for you to check to see what I'm doing right now, if it's working or not. If you have and I like where you mentioned before about elimination diet with the food, when you're trying to find out what actually really irritates you, you started with food and you wash that to say, okay, I'm eating broccoli. Okay, if broccoli is giving me issues, then probably I'm allergic to cruciferous vegetable or I am really sensitive to them. So let me take that and take something else. And that help you, elimination that help you to find out what is wrong. And so the why is very important. The cause of our issues is very important. Yeah. That's why conventional medicine is great on giving medicine, giving surgery. But if you want to know really what's going to your body, you need to go back to the why, the cause of it. And that's why you and I, we go down, deep down. Yeah. If you get it, if you eat midnight, if you have a schedule of eating midnight, something happened. It may be a trauma. It may be something in your body is signaling something to you that make you actually you want to go and eat a donut midnight. So let's get to that why. And that's what make people uncomfortable sometimes because they don't want to go to the pain area. Because when you touch the pain, you're actually trying to get to the real person. Yeah. Who they are under the pressure. Yeah. How are you manifesting that pain? Because some of us, we are different. Our pain can be manifested in different ways. Some of us are silenced. Like we're going to pain, but we are silent. Some of us, we are loud. We want everybody to know that we are going through. And some of us, we don't want help. Yeah. But when we tackle one at a time, we can able to get down to the root cause of our issues.
Yeah. And I think maybe our lives are also an example of don't wait till you can't live. If your body is showing you signs that something's off, take a look now. Don't wait until you're I was in full on adrenal fatigue and I literally had 2 hours of energy a day. I lost my clientele. I couldn't work. And that wasn't enough for me to put two and two together. This happened to me 2 months after my mother passed. I did not know it was associated with grieving and my mother wounds from my past. So you have to look. It may not be something you're doing. It could be something you're experiencing.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Grief. Can be a trauma. Yes.
And the trauma just took me down to a place because I thought I was happy for my mom's release from this life. She had not wanted to live for 20 years. So I was like, you did it. Yay. Yeah. You're free. Yeah. And I didn't know that I was grieving the loss of the mother that I never would have. Right? Because she wasn't able to really mother me. Yeah. So there was a lot of history there. And I think that we just skate over our food issues, the pain or the dysfunction, the dis-ease in our bodies because we're just I don't know. And so then a candy bar sounds good right about now because I need some energy, and we live a lot of our lives in, I don't know, the doctor doesn't know, we don't know. So we're just, we don't know. And then we just wait until it's almost too late because we're just we can't even function. Yes. Right. So I think we would both agree
Yeah.
and recommend that women don't wait till it gets
Don't
so
wait.
bad they
Right.
can't function. Like we can
Yes.
start taking these signs and manifestations that are happening within us and
Exactly.
work with that now, because it's tangible. Like we can
Yeah.
get to the bottom of it, and it's not painful like some people think it might be,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes. And what is the beauty of us paying attention, to our body? Because this is the body you are living in. You
Yeah,
can't get someone else's body. This is your body. So pay
right.
attention. It's a self care. It's part of self care. As the package of self care, not just going to the gym, not just going to the spa, but listen. I think listen to our body should be the first, the first one to come to the line. Like that's at least that's what I can do. I don't need to pay anybody to do that though. That's the beauty
Right.
of it. I don't. If I go to the masseuse, I have to pay. Which is great. But self care, listen to your body. You don't pay anybody.
Right.
It's just your time. Just listen,
Yep.
pay attention because the body speaks loud. Actually, you can hear even some tangible, like you said about tangible physical symptom. We see, and a lot of us, because when we see the symptom, we think that's what it is, but actually it's
Yeah.
not. Symptoms are just to tell you that something is up. But now let's get to the cause now.
Yeah.
If I have skin rash, something happened.
Something happened. It wasn't just like, oh, it's my cycle. I mean, it could be, but it's probably not.
Something
It's
happened.
probably
Yeah.
something else going
Yeah,
on.
let's
Yeah.
check. You have inflammation. How's your digestion? How's your sleep? How's your stress mode? How are you coping? Day to day. Now we go into all of those details. Then we found healing.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Malika, you're just an orb of wisdom
Oh,
that
thank
I
you.
just
Glory to God.
and clearly your health and wellness practice is shining from the inside out,
Oh,
and you're
thank
just a
you.
very bright light. So
Thank
thank
you.
you.
And I
Thank you for being
appreciate you.
here and sharing everything.
Yes, I learned. I appreciate you sharing this with me and your story and your journey, what you do to other people. And I think we have a call, which is a high call,
Yes.
to help women because women are the one giving birth to another human being. Women are
Thank
the
you.
one marry another human being. I mean, we do a lot. So we take care of us while we are nourishing other people. So we got to go back to nourish ourselves so we can give the best of us to the people.
Yeah.
And that
Oh,
should
I
be
love that.
every
I
day.
love that, giving the best of ourselves to the people. And I've also always said that it's never too late. If
No.
you've already birthed your family and they're out in the world, it's okay to start now to
Yes.
preserve your health, to maintain your independence, to
Yes.
maintain a greater sense of self, and to bring in that spiritual practice that's going to
Yes.
help you elevate your life. And then your children can see that. Like they're
Yes.
like, you're the example I was looking
Yes.
for.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and that is also how we can change generational patterns.
Generation. That's right.
Yeah, to help our children see
Yes.
a better way forward. So
Yeah, it's
yeah.
very important. Yes, I'm so
Yeah.
glad that we have this conversation,
Me
and I
too.
hope this is not just the last. The last. We're gonna have more conversations. So I'm
I
excited.
agree. Thank you, Malika. I feel like I'm looking at my twin. Like it's like I see you, girl.
That's right. I see you too. That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, and because the spirit, inside of us, there is a spirit that
Yeah.
speaks to us and lead us to all truth. And when we meet the other person with the same spirit, it just is automatic. The flow just amazing.
I know. I feel like I've known you forever.
Me too.
Oh, thank
Me
you so
too.
much. I'm so
You're
excited.
welcome.
So tell us how people can get hold of you if they want to work with you.
Yes, so I have first of all, my website is called Le Grain de Vie, which is Seed of Life. And I'm just
Le
going to debunk
Grand
a little bit. Le Grain de Vie.
Le
So,
Grand Levy.
yeah, it's LESGRAINESDEVIE. Le Grain de Vie. It
Okay.
means seed of
You got
life.
their French in there. It's
Yeah,
French.
yeah, Le Grain de Vie means seed of life, holistic health and wellness. So when you go to www.legraindevie.com, that's my website. But also, I am on Facebook. I do support 142,000 women on Facebook. You can go to Monopause Matters Now. We're also on YouTube and Facebook. When you go to Facebook, Monopause Matters Now by Malaika Bagoudou, you will see us and just supporting with women. Come there and talk about learning about things. I'm also, if you want my email, I can give my email is md@legrandevie.com. You can also see me there. And another area that I'm doing right now, actually this week, I'm launching my coaching group coaching with menopause, where people can come in and we're going to have a blast. I mean, we have from cooking, we're doing a whole lot of coaching, a lot of QIA. I mean, just going to be an environment where women just freedom, come in and nourish your body, soul, and spirit. So I'm excited.
It's exciting. Thank you, Malaika. I'm sure there'll be some people heading your direction. So thank you for sharing your wisdom and your light with us today.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much. And I will see you next time. You too.
Thanks for listening. I invite you to leave your feedback and share your aha moments as you listen to this podcast. Also, you can access more information or any of the programs, courses, or worksheets that I've mentioned on these episodes on my website at teresaford.life. Or what I would really love is for you to connect with me on Instagram at teresaford.coaching and on Facebook at Coaching with Teresa Ford, so I can give you more interesting insights and further coaching to help you fulfill the measure of your creation.